Hi everyone, thanks for checking out another InfoSec Hub video. Today we're going to talk about phishing, and in this particular case, spear phishing. And spear phishing is really targeted phishing. So let's start at number one. The attacker distributes emails with malicious attachments to targeted users. And what is a targeted user? A targeted user could be a CEO, a CFO, maybe a sales director, somebody of power, and somebody of power that can have power over others to do certain things. So there's always a hierarchy in a company, and if the CFO or CEO asks you anything, then most of the people will react by just complying completely to what the email says. So maybe the CFO says, hey, here's an overview of expenses of you for the last month. Do you want to double check? Because I think you made a mistake here and there. And they could attach a file in the email targeted at you. If they know, the attacker knows when you get your salary, when you need to put your expenses together for the HR department or finance department to give you money back for traveling costs or expenses. Those kind of things around the time that you get your salary or just 1 or 2 weeks before salary. If the attacker does some research, some open source intelligence, or maybe people are talking about the company online, on social media, and he figures out certain processes and how they work, he can social engineer a targeted user. And social engineering, it always has to do with a certain urgency, manipulating the user to do something, either to open an attachment or click an email. So let's say, for instance, the user opens the malicious attachment and there's a virus or there's anything in the background being installed on your laptop or your computer. So then you have a compromised system. Your system still functions the way you do expect, and then in the background there's something running and it's waiting for instructions from the attacker, basically. And what the attacker could do is install a rat, that's a remote access Trojan, in the background. You will not see this. There's not a new application, there's not any browser plugin, it's just running in the background. You might be able to spot a rat when you open all the system processes that are open and you notice there's a certain program that you haven't seen before that's using network traffic or listening, sending data onto the internet and receiving data, and you can't really know what kind of program it is. You have no idea. Usually it has this strange, for a Windows machine, it usually has a strange name and it's an executable running in the background. But that's too much details for one video. So basically you have a compromised system. There's software there that's listening for instructions. The remote action Trojan is used to gain access to additional systems on the internal network. This rat is basically already inside the network, and your laptop, your computer already has privileges to certain internal systems, because the Active Directory gives you the role and the responsibilities and the access rights that come with you as a person, as an employee. So you will have access rights to back office systems, internal websites, you name it. You have access. You're inside the network. But this rat can still connect to the internet, and it can, for instance, make screenshots. It can look remotely what you're doing on your computer, and you won't notice a thing. So what is the reason this happens? This attacker is looking for data. It's looking for data to either ransom, or he is just looking for personal identifiable PII. So personal information of the user that can then be sold on the black market or used against users again in another spear phishing attack, basically. and this data is worth a lot of money. So that's what it's always about. It's either about influence or it's about money, and that's the way the world works, and that's also how spear phishing and phishing works in general. So here you have the whole cycle from 1 to 7. And 7 is good to know. Data is exfiltrated to the attacker in a stealthy manner. You will not see any window popping up like copying to a certain location. No, you will not see that. It will be exfiltrated in a stealthy manner. Maybe even the program, the rat, is looking at a period of time of inactivity. Maybe the CPU is dropping below 20%. Maybe it checks when the screen is off. Then your computer still runs. You will not see any windows, and every time that you lock your screen, for instance, it will send data to the attacker. So you have no clue what's happening. And every time you unlock the screen again, you go work and you need the internet, the data transfer will stop, so you can't notice any difference in the performance, if you catch my drift. So it can be very sophisticated, and it all starts with opening a malicious attachment or clicking a link. And the spear phishing part is that they really have a select group of people in mind that they can manipulate, and they can use the name of somebody else in a higher position to put a little bit of pressure on you to do what the email says. But if you have good awareness inside the company, then people can spot this very easily. So I hope that all makes sense. And if you have any questions about this, please leave me a comment, and I'll look forward to get back to you in no time. So thanks again for watching, and hope you have a great day.